Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. In the Caro-Kann defense, c6 supports a quick d7-d5 pawn push to control the center and challenge the e4 pawn. Knight c3 develops the knight and supports the e4 pawn. d5 takes space in the center and attacks the e4 pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight and controls the d4 and e5 squares. Bishop g4 develops the bishop and pins the knight on f3. h3 attacks the bishop on g4, forcing black to either retreat or exchange the bishop. Bishop takes f3 captures the knight and attacks the queen. Queen takes f3 captures the bishop, develops the queen and supports the e4 pawn. Knight gf6 develops the knight toward the center, supports the d5 pawn and attacks the e4 pawn. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. That's fine. This threatens to win material by adding pressure to a pinned piece. This stops the opponent from being able to win material by adding pressure to a pinned piece. This kicks a knight. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. This is an equal trade. Takes back. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This fianchettos the bishop by placing it on a powerful diagonal. A very strong play. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. One of the best moves. A solid choice. This allows the knight to control more squares. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This misses an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. The pawn is now adequately defended. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Black develops further. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. Very precise. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. Applying pressure to black's pawn chain. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. This overlooks an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. The piece finds a new active square. This misses an opportunity to kick a knight. This is the only good move. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. Right on target. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. The rooks are coordinated and powerfully doubled on the file. The pawns are advancing, aiming straight for the king. This is a fair move. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This allows the opponent to win material through an eventual fork. Black can win material through a fork with the right follow-up from here. The game was close to equal, but now black has the advantage. This is the only move that works. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This is an equal trade. This forces the opponent to isolate a pawn. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This makes a passed pawn. This moves the queen to safety. That was a free pawn. The pawn is now adequately defended. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. A very strong play. That pawn was free for the taking. One of the best moves. This is the only good move. This protects the attacked pawn. This threatens to eventually win a knight. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win a knight. This defends the attacked pawn. This threatens to tactically win a rook. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. This overlooks an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a queen. This allows the opponent to sacrifice a knight for a nice tactic. This misses an opportunity to block an attack on a vulnerable pawn. This moves the queen to safety. That's fine. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This allows the opponent to pin a defender of a pawn. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This wins a tempo by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This move puts the queen on a safer square. A solid choice. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. This stops the opponent from being able to win material through a tactic. This blocks black's pawn. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. A very strong play. This wins time by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This moves the queen to safety. This is a fair move. This threatens to eventually win a pawn. One of the best moves. The piece finds a new active square. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This immobilizes the rook by pinning it to the king. This breaks a pin, enabling a rook to provide needed defense. A solid choice. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. A very strong play. This pins a rook to the king. This frees a pinned rook, allowing it to provide defense. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. Pushing a passed pawn. The piece finds a new active square. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. One of the best moves. This offers an equal trade of pieces. This moves the queen to safety. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. A solid choice. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. A very strong play. This steps away from the checking queen. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the queen. Very precise. This evades the check from the queen. That's fine. Right on target. One of the best moves. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. The bishop finds a new active square. Pushing a passed pawn. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Black's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. A solid choice. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This is the strongest option. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This is the way to win a pawn. This evades the check from the rook.